For more about what today's news means and what comes next, we are joined by Amir Idris. He is a professor of African Studies at Fordham University here in New York, and he grew up in Sudan. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So now that we've had this arrest warrant issued, I guess the real question is, what are the chances that we are likely to see Bashir inside of a courtroom?
That's a good question. Ideally, the President Bashir should resign and submit to the ICC, but nobody expects him to do so. So the United Nations Security Council should act and should make it clear to him so that it is very important for him to recognize the authority of the International Criminal Court. And also the international communities could work with other countries to come up with certain kind of mechanisms to enforce the ruling.
So in essence, what this is asking is that he should turn himself in.
Yes, ideally, ideally.
Short
yes.
of that, if he does not, who acts as the arresting police officer here?
The international community. As I mentioned, the United Nations Security Councils could issue resolutions and that ask the government of Sudan to comply with the ICC decision, and that could be done. So at the same time, the United Nations could work with other countries to come up with certain kind of mechanisms to enforce.
If he traveled somewhere,
yeah,
he could be arrested.
Yes, surely.
Outside of Sudan.
Surely.
There are a number of African leaders that were opposed to the issuance of this arrest warrant. Why
Yes.
was that?
Yeah, first of all, we do have to make a distinction between two things, the African peoples and the African leaders. The African people, the overwhelming majority of them, I think they will support the ICC decision. The majority of the African leaders, they may not agree with the ICC decision, so because of their own personal interests. Some of them also implicated in violating the human rights principles of their own people.
They'd fear that they might be next.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Does this put the United States in an awkward position? And the reason I say that is, of course, the United States has been opposed to the violence in Darfur, but it also does not recognize the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. So does that create a problem?
In a sense, yes, but also we have to make a distinction between two things, between the mandate of the International Criminal Court as an international entity that has mandate to investigate crimes against humanity, genocide, war crime, etc., etc. And the position of the United States is defined by the United States national interest. So it seems to me with the growing interest now on the ICC now is getting credibility, and a lot of countries now is supporting the ICC's activities. It seems to be in the long term, the United States have to rethink its position on that.
Amir Idris, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.